Let's delve into the understanding of diverse social norms and etiquette across cultures and how they affect social interactions. Social norms. Norm is in dictionary defined as a rule in accordance with established principles of law or state, whereas within a social group, it is a principle in itself that's directing the actions of the group members' conduct. These rules and behaviors are known by all members of society, and non-compliance results in punishment according to the seriousness of the crime. The purpose of social norms is to guide individuals, especially those at risk of negative or maladaptive behaviors, towards lawful and appropriate conduct. Religion, for example, aligns with social norms in this regard, helping to regulate and control human behavior in society. Social norms are enforced through various sanctions, including fashion, customs, and traditions.
Interacting with people from different backgrounds can help individuals expand their knowledge of different cultures, values, experiences, promoting personal growth and empathy. What are the characteristics of social norms? The general characteristics of social norms are as follows. Every social group or society has various norms. People learn social norms during socialization. When a person who belongs to a society or some kind of social group adopts these norms, they become part of the social structure.
Daniel Batson says that empathy is feeling like the other person. Sometimes it means experiencing someone else's pain and sharing the same discomfort. Empathy is sometimes confused with similar concepts such as sympathy, passion, pity, and caring. But in fact, all of these concepts include empathy. Cultivate empathy and perspective taking. To be able to work on and eliminate the problems arising in the relationships of individuals, it is important to look from the other person's point of view, to be tolerant and to empathize with each other. This process has a central place in communication. To establish empathy in communication effectively, it is crucial to correctly convey feelings and thoughts to the other person and to accurately understand their perspective. Perspective taking, which is a critical component of empathy, enables a person to use existing knowledge to draw the right conclusions about the other person and to share their own views with the other person. It's defined as a set of skills that enable a person to distinguish from one's opinions.
In this context, in communication situations with individuals, being like them, thinking like them, facilitates communication. Similarly, individuals with a developed empathic mindset are open to different emotions and mindsets and communicate more easily. Some steps to develop empathy skills are the following. Discover your skill level. Before embarking on the journey of developing empathy skills, you need to recognize your strengths and weaknesses. Ask for constructive criticism. Practice empathizing with others. Examine your prejudices. Speak with respect. Think broadly.
Here are a few tips on how to develop empathy skills among athletes, especially if you're in the role of a team leader, captain, or similar. You can try some of the following techniques. Soften your tone. Studies have shown that tone plays a significant factor in how an individual feels when receiving positive or negative feedback. When athletes receive feedback in a soft, warm, supportive tone, they leave feeling more positive, even if the feedback is negative. Listen attentively. When athletes feel truly heard, confidence increases. It is important not to interrupt the athlete and instead really listen to what the athlete is saying. Increasing self-awareness. Start examining how your own behaviors affect others, both positively and negatively, and work to improve them. Recording your behaviors in a journal will better increase your awareness of what works during your conversations with your coach, parent, player, or team. You can find more about this topic, a reflective practice, in the module Respect for Diversity.
The definition of perspective taking is quite simple. Shortly, it is the ability to adopt someone else's point of view when thinking. This is something we often do without thinking. We are always gathering data about other people's state of mind through their behavior, verbal and nonverbal cues. If someone has tears in their eyes, we can assume they are upset. We know that rapid breathing, rapid speech, and anxiety can mean that the person is panicking. Changes in tone of voice can express anger, sympathy, or happiness. These are all social cues that we instinctively process and use to formulate socially acceptable responses.
For example, if a friend expresses sadness because a soccer team has lost, then a joke might be an appropriate way to get rid of that emotion. However, if a family member has just died, it may be more appropriate to show support by being there for them. How to develop perspectives. Perspective taking is to some extent an innate human trait. Most of us can tell when someone is in a bad situation, angry or excited, and we can predict their behaviour based on these factors. Although it is important to keep in mind that there is a group of people with social deficits that make perspective taking more difficult or even impossible. Certain personality disorders, autism, etc. For the most part, however, perspective taking is an innate ability.
Some ways to improve your perspective-taking skills are the following. Consciously put your emotions aside so that you can concentrate only on the perspective of others. Do not approach the situation with a mission mentality. Always approach it with curiosity. What makes them behave the way they do? Use open-ended questions that can help you uncover interests and motivation that the person may not be able to verbalize. Be clear about your own position and the weaknesses you have. Remove any personal intentions you may have so as not to project them onto others. Do not use what you know about the person, their past, their mood, their intentions and expectations. Imagine how they see the current situation. Once you understand their point of view, try to predict what their reaction will be so that you can refine your answers to move them towards the desired outcome. Confirm their position, you don't have to agree, by telling them again that you are considering their position. Use the mirroring technique to imitate movements, postures and facial expressions to relax and connect. Lastly, even if not perfect, perspective taking is an essential skill for success from a chess match to geopolitical deals. By removing yourself from the equation, you can make your opponent's motivations more salient, and by understanding the other side's true motivations, you can be in a better position to anticipate their responses and offer them an acceptable compromise. With the use of perspective taking, all parties can walk away from a satisfactory negotiation process. This kind of win-win scenario is a good basis for ongoing partnerships and sales. At the same time, if you are a perspective taker, you are unlikely to get a better outcome.
Let's conclude. Throughout this module on social interactions, we have explored a range of topics that are essential for fostering positive and meaningful connections in both physical and virtual environments. Understanding what social interactions are was our starting point, where we discussed the basic elements of human engagement, including verbal and nonverbal communication, cultural norms, and the inherent need for social bonds. A significant portion of our discussion focused on positive social interactions. We examined how supportive, affirming, and constructive exchanges can enhance personal relationships, promote mental well-being, and contribute to a cohesive community. The importance of positive social interactions was underscored by their ability to build trust, facilitate cooperation, and create a sense of belonging among individuals.
In our exploration of virtual social interactions, we acknowledged the transformative impact of digital technology on how we connect with others. However, we also addressed the challenges, including the potential for miscommunication due to the lack of physical cues and the risks associated with anonymity and reduced accountability online. The dark side of social interactions, especially online, was thus examined through the lens of cyberbullying. We discussed the pervasive nature of online harassment and its detrimental effects on individuals. Recognizing the signs of cyberbullying and understanding strategies for prevention and intervention were key takeaways, reinforcing the need for a compassionate and responsible online presence. Effective communication emerged as a crucial theme, encompassing both active listening and clear expression of thoughts and feelings. We also emphasized techniques for improving communication skills and underlined effective communication as the cornerstone of healthy social interactions, enabling us to convey our needs and understand those of others. As we have a whole module dedicated to communication skills, this can be your next point, if it hasn't already been on your path through this education.
Perspective taking and empathy were highlighted as vital components for nurturing meaningful connections. Perspective taking involves understanding another person's viewpoint, while empathy goes a step further by emotionally resonating with their experiences. These skills are fundamental in resolving conflicts, building strong relationships, and fostering an inclusive environment where diverse perspectives are valued. In conclusion, this module has provided a comprehensive overview of social interactions, emphasizing the importance of positive engagements, effective communication, and empathy. By understanding the dynamics of both physical and virtual interactions, recognizing the impact of our behavior on others, and striving to communicate thoughtfully and empathetically, we can create a more connected and supportive society. The insights gained from this module serve as a foundation for cultivating healthier and more meaningful social interactions in our daily lives.
Now you should be ready to reflect once more and take your test to successfully complete this module. If you think you're not ready yet, go through the module again, within your own timeline and your own capacities. Pace yourself and learn about social interactions. On the other hand, if you're done with this module, feel free to visit any other module as this course is full of interesting content. In some modules, you will notice similarities as some of the topics we talk in one can appear in another module only with a different context.